Hi everyone, my name's Scott. Welcome to Planes, Trains, Everything, and welcome to Beauvais Airport, 47 miles or 75 kilometers north of Paris. Here's an interesting factoid. Did you know around about 4 million people pass through this airport every year? And probably 99.99% of them never see the town of Beauvais, just a couple of kilometers down the road. That's going to change today. I'm here for 2 days, 1 night, and I'm going to explore the town. There is a number 6 bus which will take me right into the centre of town down by the main railway station. But there's a couple of things along the way I'd like to see first. Poor old Beauvais, it's in the wrong place. It's sort of located between Paris and the English Channel, or Paris and the Belgian border. So every time there's a world war, it tends to get damaged. It was damaged pretty badly in the First World War, and the job was finished during the Second World War. But there's enough, I think, to make it interesting for 2 days or 1 night here. I'm also looking forward to my hotel tonight, or at least I think I'm looking forward to it. It's called the F1 Hotel, and there's about 150, 160 of these scattered around France. Now it's part of the Accor chain, and I've always had a soft spot for the Accor brand. And in my corporate travel days, we'd have the sales manager of Accor come up to see us here in Glasgow, and I remember seeing F1 on their portfolio, and I said, what's F1? And she said, oh, it's a chain of budget hotels in France. And I thought, one day I really must try that, because it's one of the few big brands of the Accor chain that I haven't tried. And I should enjoy the F1. Since booking it through booking.com, I've discovered it's a 1-star property, which has, just trying not to get run over here, a 1-star property with shared bathroom and toilet. And I thought, yeah, I didn't actually know that at the time when I booked it, but oh well, it's part of the experience. So that's what I've got to look forward to. One slight problem: you've got Beauvais Airport in the north, you've got the town, and then you've got the F1 way down in the furthest extremity of the town. I'll get there in due course, I'm sure. Right, I think this is my turn off. Okay, the first attraction, according to TripAdvisor anyway, is a place called Parc Marcel Dasson, and it's just over here. I have a feeling this park is designed for kids, but let's find out anyway. According to a sign back there, there's a place here called the English Garden. Let's see if we can find that. Being the first week in March, the park isn't looking at its best at the moment. There's a few bulbs starting to sprout, some very young leaves on plants like that one there. But otherwise, it's just a place to walk around and get fresh air, I think. And no sign of the English Garden. Well, I didn't see anything that was obviously English, but there were quite a few rose gardens back there, so that could be the English Garden. Right, I'm going to look at these chickens and things, and then I think we'll head. Aren't you glad you subscribed to this channel? It only gets better. The next thing on the list is actually something quite important. There are a few Austrian flags flapping about. Why? I don't know. It just kind of adds to the mystery. Right, down here, about 1 kilometer. You can tell we're getting closer to the town centre because there's a lot more older buildings with a lot more character. There's one building that did survive both world wars, and it's the cathedral, and it looks quite magnificent, and it's in the centre of town, and there's quite a few old buildings around there as well, so stick with me, we'll be there shortly. I just have to see this Maison Grébert. Apparently it's quite wacky. I spotted this building from a little distance off. It had to be the building. It's so crazy. This is actually an old ceramics factory which was built in 1866, and it's now a listed building. And yes, these are ceramic lizards. Just a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Surfshark. It doesn't matter whether you use the free Wi-Fi here at airports, inside a shopping centre, on a bus, at international burger restaurants, at a cafe, or even in a one-star hotel room, your data is at risk. In fact, using shared Wi-Fi is the easiest way for a hacker to access your sensitive data. Surfshark is a VPN, a virtual private network. Surfshark encrypts all of the data between your device and the internet, ensuring no one can steal your personal data. So no matter where you are, Surfshark is protecting your back. The fun thing about Surfshark is the fact it allows you to access UK television when overseas, and also allows you to access overseas television when it's normally off limits. I was recently in Albania, and let's say now I want to catch up on the local news. This will be off limits to anyone outside of the country, but if I change my virtual location to an Albanian one, yes, they have an Albanian IP address, I can access stations such as Top Channel, the biggest channel in Albania. But this trick also enables you to watch live sporting events in foreign countries. And you know how much I love my German football. Another benefit of Surfshark is that one account covers unlimited devices, meaning everyone in your household is protected. If you use my code in the link in the description below, you'll get an extra 3 months free. And don't forget, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no harm in giving Surfshark a try. So thank you, Surfshark, for keeping me safe while on the move, and also keeping me up to date with Albanian current affairs. Or even in a one-star hotel room, your data is at risk. Along here somewhere, there are medieval buildings that survived the fire of 1940. Half-timbered houses and restaurants. That's what it says. Half-timbered houses and restaurants. Okay. Boom. Half-timbered houses straight ahead. When I read that Beauvais had been demolished during 2 world wars, I didn't expect to find anything of great age, but this is fantastic. And these old medieval buildings just keep going and going. I hadn't realised there were so many of them. I'll be totally honest and hold my hands up. If you had said Beauvais, I would have thought airport and nothing else. This is a beautiful area. A new town, same old story. Someone just asked me for directions. I couldn't help her. I wanted to help her, but I couldn't help her because I can't understand French. That is a beautiful war memorial. Right. I'm trying to find the way down to the station now, because that's more than halfway to the hotel. I'm just heading down to the station and I've come across more half-timbered buildings. I had no idea there were so many here. Beauvais? Okay, about 15 minutes ago I was well and truly misplaced, but I have a landmark now, I know where the station is. Let's go exploring. Beauvais is full of surprises. I had absolutely no idea this existed. What a grand square this is. I'd better watch myself, otherwise I'm going to get totally lost again. Right, I came from that way. So here I am being distracted by the roadworks, thinking St. Etienne's church should be around here somewhere. It is from the 12th century, and guess what? It's right behind me. How could I possibly miss that? I think I read somewhere that this was heavily damaged during the Second World War. They've done an amazing restoration job. You wouldn't know it. Regrettably, it might be closed. Oh well. I'd marked something on my map with a cross. I wasn't quite sure what it was. Turned the corner and I found this, and I actually went, oh! I've said it once before and I'll say it again. I have been surprised at Beauvais. I had no idea there were so many beautiful buildings, so much history in this town. The front door might be open, but I can hear a circular saw inside, so it may be closed after all. Let's have a little look. Now that was pretty impressive. Right, it's 2 p.m. I haven't eaten since about 6 a.m. at Edinburgh Airport this morning, and I'm starving. Also, I've been walking miles, so what's the easiest option here? Starving. The devil made me do it. Right, let's get to this hotel. This is one of the old roads that led out of town, and this should take me more or less straight to the F1 hotel. I'll also be going past a leper colony, or a former one. I wonder if I can get in. And here we are at the very prestigious Hotel F1. Now it might just be a one-star hotel, but it's a good one-star because it's part of a core, and so it will be up to scratch for a one-star property. You ready for this? Let's do this. Well, you saw the communal showers and toilets outside. I'll give you a guided tour of this room. That should take about 10 seconds. Double bed is large. Power point with USBs. There is a sink. I'm going to look out there in a minute. A TV and a remote control, a desk. But check out this groovy wallpaper. Whoa. Right, let's check out the view. Are you ready for this? A hedge. Still trying to get over this wallpaper. Wow. How groovy is that wallpaper, honestly? Right, I'm going to relax for about 2 hours, then I'm going to go out and do that challenge. Okay, I've just had a 2-hour power nap. Didn't sleep, but at least I rested. Time to go out and do something. Okay, first task. Next door, we have got an Ibis Styles. And I do like Ibis Styles. In the UK and across Europe, they tend to be a little bit quirky. Although in Paris, they tend to be quite bland. I'm curious to see if the blandness extends as far as Beauvais, or whether it's actually quite quirky inside. Let's have a little look. I can't say there was any actual theme in there, although I did like the collection of globes hanging from the ceiling. Right, now for the food challenge. Are you ready for this one? There's a Carrefour supermarket just up there. This should be fun. And here we are. On this bit of cardboard, I have got 7 stereotypical French foods. And I'm going to see how many of these I can find. Some are easier than others. I'm also going to get some snacks from a room as well, but I'm going to have a bit of fun here. 7. Here we go. Okay, the first thing on the list, baguettes. And here we go. It is 7 PM, so they don't have a huge stock here, but wow, look at that. Bags of 10 baguettes for €6. That is what I call a baguette. Look at the size of that thing. And the smaller ones. Next thing on the list, onions. But can you buy them on a string? You know how you get a stereotypical Frenchman in a striped shirt and a beret riding a bicycle with a string of onions around his neck? Can you buy onions in strings? Well, they've certainly got bags of onions. Not seeing onions on a string though. Garlic. No onions on a string, but I do have onions. Next, cheese. That's something I haven't seen before. Black bananas. What are these things? Here they have more onions. Look at all these onions. Oh, and potatoes as well. But onions, garlics, the whole lot. None of them are string. Whoa. I do like my cheese. Look at that wedge there, beautiful. Well, you're certainly spoilt for choice when it comes to cheese, that's for sure. And next on the shopping list, wine. Champagnes. Wow, look at this. Wine as far as you can see. Wonder if they sell English wine here. Somehow I doubt it. I'm not a wine drinker, but wow. And poor old spirits are only half an aisle. Even the beers are kind of like just a small stand, but wines dominate, definitely. Okay, a couple of familiar brands. Still not lots of spirits compared with the amount of wine they've got. Oh, what is that? Oh, okay, vanilla. A couple of English gins. So wine was a definite success. Next, it starts getting a little hard. Escargot, snails. Can you buy them in jars? I don't know where to start looking for escargot. I'm just looking for something in jars. No shortage of olives in jars and in tins. I'm also looking for Couste de Grenouille. My French isn't very good. That's frog's legs. I've got a feeling you might have to go to a specialist for that. Mustard seems to be a specialty here. They have their own stand of just local products. Loads of olive oil. Oh, okay. I don't even know what some of these things are. But it's cheap, €2.79. Okay, struck out with the snails and the frog's legs. And finally, viande de cheval. Sue knew what that was. She's good at French. That's horse meat. I've always wanted to try that. In the UK, you do not eat horses. But here in France, hey, it pulls a plough, then you eat it. Let's see if we can find horse meat. we go. Some sort of fish paste. I wonder what these things are actually like. One day I'm going to be brave and actually buy some of these sort of things. Well, I struck out on the horse meat. I've got a feeling some of these pastes that you see might be regarded as liquids at airports because they are quite watery. So it'd be my sod's law I spend £20 on different types of pastes and things, only to have them confiscated. Right, I've got a couple of things to get for my room. I'll see you outside. Well, that was a bit of food fun, wasn't it? I wish I had a fridge in my room, that's for sure. But being a 1-star, you don't get a fridge. You don't even get your own shower or toilet. So don't expect a fridge. But I probably would have stocked up on a few things. I was speaking to the guy at the front desk at the Hotel F1, and he gave me some good news. I do like good news. And the good news is, there's actually a bus service which operates direct from this area here, which is called Delhi, I think that's how it's pronounced, Delhi, to the airport. Now I thought I was going to have to change buses in the town centre. That's the good news. The bad news is I would get there at 8:30 in the morning. Flight doesn't leave until about 12:30. That's 4 hours at Beauvais. They only seem to operate very early in the morning or late at night, not during the day. But hey, I'm going to be having breakfast at the airport tomorrow anyway, so I don't mind. But I might try and find out where this bus stop is. That might be handy. I went over to the bus stop there, and I've got a very informative, very detailed route map of all the bus routes around Beauvais, but there is no direct service from here to the airport, so I'm going to have to double check that in the morning. 49 euros per night for a room here. Whereas next door at the Ibis, oh, it's gone very dark, hasn't it? 122 euros. That's why I'm staying at the F1. I keep looking at this wallpaper, how groovy it is. Although I don't know if I'd have it in my own home. Venice Simplon and Orient Express here, and another one here. But the only two British posters I can see, the Olympic Games, and where was it? Up here. London Underground. Okay, I'm going to relax for a little bit now. I don't have to get up at the crack of dawn, but the last morning bus to the airport that goes direct, allegedly, is 8:32. I plan to be on it. So I will see you in the morning. Good morning, everybody. Firstly, this bed here. You can probably tell from the sound. Ever bought a sheet of MDF? That's what it feels like. It is rock solid. I like a solid bed, but wow, that is hard. I went and had a shower. The water pressure is fantastic, except when someone else uses one of the other communal showers, it either goes stone cold or boiling hot. And it has one of these little buttons that you have to press every 10 seconds, otherwise the water supply stops. Also, before I went to the supermarket last night, I thought I'll check to make sure they supply soap. And sure enough, there's a soap dispenser. Guess what's missing from the soap dispenser? Soap. So I just had to have a kind of a wet shower, and that was it really. Okay, I have got about 20 minutes to kill. I'm going to be checking out, going across the road to the bus stop. Wish me luck. It's a very foggy morning here in Beauvais. Good job my flight leaves at about 12:30, so hopefully this fog would have lifted by then. Spoke to a very nice lady. She says the bus doesn't leave from over there, it leaves from another road and across the road. So I think I know where I'm going now. Hope so. I do have a plan B, but plan A is very, very convenient because it goes straight to the airport. Merci. There must have been about 200 people waiting for buses to get into Paris there, which is a good sign because that shows that the flights are actually arriving despite the fog. Right, I'm going to go into the terminal just to see how chaotic it is. My flight doesn't leave for another 4 hours yet. Like I said yesterday, that was the last direct bus from that part of Beauvais. So I just wanted to catch it for convenience. Once I know everything's okay, I'm going to get a breakfast. Well, the good news is, despite the fog, all flights seem to be arriving and departing. The bad news is, it's rush hour at Beauvais Airport at the moment, and it's absolute carnage in there. There are a couple of cafes. I'm going to see if I can get a breakfast. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a seat though, that's the thing. There's only so long you can stretch out a cup of coffee, and I've still got 3 hours to go. Here are a couple of interesting factoids. Today's Ryanair flight from Beauvais to Edinburgh is actually operated by Skyview. Sky who? I've gone online to find out more about Skyview, and guess what? There isn't anything. They are a defunct Thai airline, Skyview, but apart from that, there's no references to their tie-up with Ryanair at all. I think it must be something like Malta Air, who operate some of their flights within the EU or within Europe. It's the same situation. It's still a Ryanair flight. Here's another thing. Did you know there's no row 13 on a Ryanair aircraft? And I think it's the same with Lufthansa, Air France and a couple of other airlines. It's seen as being unlucky. But the way I look at it is, if something happens to the passengers on row 13, it's probably going to happen to the rest of the passengers on the aircraft as well. Anyway, it looks as if the fog is starting to lift. There's a little bit of blue sky up there. And then I might have to go in for another coffee. So what did I think of Beauvais? Genuinely, I thought it was just going to be a large town next to an airport. But in actual fact, there's over 1,000 years of history here, and it's an amazing place. What a discovery. I would recommend, if you're in Paris and you've got a late flight out of Beauvais, consider coming here in the morning and spending the day in the town. It is absolutely beautiful. Anyway guys, thanks very much for coming along, and I'll see you next time.